Hello everyone, and welcome to the channel. Before we dive into today's story, we just wanted to take a quick second to say thank you all for watching. We truly appreciate your support. If you're new here, please consider subscribing, it's totally free, and hit the notification bell so you never miss out on our latest stories. Now, with all that said, let's jump straight into the story.
My name is Marcus Lane. I'm 28, and if you're watching this, and statistically about 23 of you probably know me as Urban X Lane on YouTube. I explore abandoned places, lost histories. It was a hobby, then a passion, now it's just the only thing that keeps me from dissolving into the furniture. I moved to this cabin in the Appalachians about 6 months after Mom died. City life felt like a pressure cooker. Here, it's just me, the trees, and the ghosts I was already carrying. The first week, I started exploring. There was a deer trail, almost swallowed by the forest, that I found interesting. It snaked deeper than any animal would need to go. On the third trip, I found it. A door. Just standing there. It was old, made of dark wood, probably oak. Intricate carvings covered it, swirling patterns that resolved into crude images of eyes and hands. No frame. No walls. Just a door, defying gravity and logic, in the middle of nowhere. I circled it, touched the cold wood. It wouldn't budge. It was unlocked. I could feel the latch give way, but something was stopping it. I filmed the whole thing for my channel. The comments exploded. Marcus, leave it alone. That's some Blair Witch shit, man. Don't be an idiot. It's cool, but seriously, bad vibes. Burn sage. They were right, of course. It felt wrong. But a part of me, the part that Mom used to call stubbornly curious, wouldn't let it go. That night I had the dream. Or more accurately, the nightmare. I was standing in the woods again, but the air was thick with fog. The door loomed, somehow taller, more menacing. Then I heard it, 3 soft knocks coming from the other side. I woke up gasping, heart hammering against my chest like a bass drum. The next morning, I told myself it was just a dream. But the door was all I could think about. I went back every day. Each time it seemed closer. At first, I dismissed it as perspective, the subtle tricks the forest plays. But within a week, I could see it from my porch. Paranoia blossomed. I set up trail cameras, hoping to catch whatever was moving it. The footage was useless. One camera showed nothing but static for hours before dying. Another captured distorted images, blurs of light and shadow that resolved into brief, terrifying glimpses of something. Something tall and impossibly thin, standing just behind the door. Then the footage would cut out altogether. Some files were corrupted. The dreams intensified. I would find myself standing before the open door, a suffocating darkness on the other side. Someone was always whispering just beyond the threshold, "Let me see you." The voice was soft, coaxing, like a lover or a mother. Then came the waking oddities. I lost time. Hours vanished without a trace. I'd start chopping wood at noon, and suddenly it would be twilight. Objects in my cabin shifted. Books rearranged on shelves, knives missing from the block only to reappear in the sink. The worst was the photo. I found it tucked into the back of a drawer, an old Polaroid of me as a child, maybe 6 or 7. I was standing in my backyard holding a baseball bat. Normal enough. But in the background, impossibly out of place, was the door, looming behind my childhood home as if it had always been there. I called Avery my sister. She's always been grounded, the practical one. "Marcus, you're scaring me," she said, her voice tight with concern. "This isn't healthy. Come back to the city. Get some therapy." "I'm fine, Avery. Just a little stressed." "Stressed? You found a door in the middle of the woods that's apparently teleporting around your property, and you're a little stressed?" "I just need to figure it out," I said, my voice more desperate than I intended. "I need to know what it is. Marcus, please. Just leave. Sell the cabin. Come home." I couldn't. I was hooked. The door was like a puzzle, a riddle carved into the very fabric of reality. I had to solve it. Avery arrived a few days later, unannounced. She drove up in her beat-up Honda Civic, her face etched with worry. "I'm not leaving until you pack your bags," she stated, planting her hands on her hips. I tried to reason with her, to explain the compulsion that had taken root in my mind. But she just looked at me with those sad, knowing eyes. "You're not yourself, Marcus," she said softly. "This place, it's doing something to you." That night, the storm hit. The wind howled like a banshee, rattling the windows of the cabin. Rain lashed against the roof, a deafening drumbeat. I lay in bed, restless, listening to the storm rage. Avery was asleep in the guest room, her presence a small comfort. Then I heard it, a creak, a low, groaning sound that cut through the storm's fury. I knew what it was even before I threw on my boots and grabbed a flashlight. The door was open. It swung inward, revealing not another place but a void. A swirling darkness that seemed to absorb the light from my flashlight. And in that darkness I saw it. A reflection. But not of me. It was me, but older, paler, gaunt. Its eyes were black, devoid of any light or humanity. Terror seized me, cold and paralyzing. I wanted to run, to scream, but I was frozen in place. And then I heard it. "Come home, baby," the voice whispered from the void. It was Mom's voice. Very soft, so loving, achingly familiar. It was the voice that had soothed me through childhood nightmares, the voice that had held my hand as she took her last breath. Avery stumbled into the room, her eyes wide with fear. "Marcus, what's going on?" she cried, reaching for me. I didn't hear her. I couldn't. Mom was calling me home. "Please, Marcus, no." Avery screamed, grabbing my arm, trying to pull me away. But it was too late. The voice was too strong, the pull too irresistible. I stepped forward, leaving Avery behind, and walked through the door. Avery woke up on the forest floor. The storm had passed. The sky was a pale, watery blue. She was alone. She scrambled to her feet, disoriented and terrified. "Marcus," she screamed, her voice hoarse. She ran back to the cabin. It was empty. It felt wrong somehow. Sterile. Like a stage set, waiting for a performance that would never begin. She grabbed his laptop, desperate for answers. But the hard drive was wiped clean. Every photo, every video, every document, gone. She tried searching online, but there was nothing. No trace of Urban X Lane, no mention of Marcus Lane. It was as if he had never existed. Panic clawed at her throat. She called the police, but they dismissed her concerns. Another lost hiker, they said. It happens all the time. Avery knew better. She knew what she had seen. She knew what had taken her brother. That night she walked back into the woods. The moon was hidden behind clouds, casting long, eerie shadows. She followed the faint trail, her heart pounding in her chest. The door was there again, standing silently, waiting. She hesitated, her hand trembling as she reached for the handle. But then she heard it. A voice, soft and filled with a desperate longing, calling her name from the other side. "Avery." It was Marcus's voice. She froze. "Avery." Her brother's voice again, quiet, distant, but unmistakably his. It was choked with sorrow. She pressed her ear to the cold, warped wood. "Marcus," she whispered. "I can't see you," the voice replied, muffled as if underwater. "Open the door." Her trembling fingers hovered over the handle. Every instinct screamed at her to run, to burn the forest down and salt the earth. But love is a dangerous thing when twisted by grief. She opened the door. Inside was darkness. Not absence of light, but something deeper, heavier. The kind of dark that seemed to press against her skin, pulling at her eyes. She leaned in just far enough for the shadows to breathe against her cheeks. And then she saw him. It was Marcus, standing at the end of a long, impossibly narrow corridor. He was pale, and standing still. His eyes sunken, rimmed in black. His mouth moved soundlessly. The forest behind her vanished. The doorframe expanded, stretching like a wound torn wider. "Avery," he said again, "you shouldn't be here." She stepped inside. As soon as her foot crossed the threshold, the door slammed shut behind her. Total darkness. A silence so complete it roared in her ears. She screamed, but there was no echo. No floor. No air. Only the crushing weight of nothing. Then, a heartbeat. Not hers. It thudded once. Twice. Then the corridor returned, but different now. No longer wood-lined but fleshy, pulsing, like a throat. Marcus was closer. His eyes were not his own. They gleamed like polished obsidian. "You shouldn't be here," he said again. But this time his mouth didn't move. The thing inside him did. Its grin stretched far too wide. Suddenly she was falling. The hallway became a tunnel. A slide slick with something warm. Hands brushed her ankles, her back, her face. Too many fingers. She landed hard on stone. A cavern, lined with doors. Hundreds, maybe thousands. All mismatched. All humming faintly, vibrating with whispers. And in the center, the Watcher. No longer pretending to be her brother. It stood over 10 feet tall, its face featureless. A shifting veil of shadows and half-formed memories. Voices leaked from its surface. Her mother. Marcus. Her own. "You open the door," it cooed. "That makes you the keeper." "The what?" she choked. "Every door needs a keeper. Someone to call the curious. To answer when they knock." It held out a key, long, black, jagged like a bolt of lightning. She shook her head, backing away. No. I'm not part of this. You are now. Behind her, the door she came through had vanished. The watcher turned, its form unraveling like smoke, and where it stood, Marcus remained, smiling sadly. Just as before. But this time she understood. It wasn't just a copy. It was him. He hadn't been taken. He had become the last keeper. And now he was free. The door behind her cracked open again. A cool wind rushed through it. She turned. There, in a sun-dappled forest on the other side, a new figure stood. A boy no older than 15. Backpack on. Holding a camera. He looked confused. "Hello?" he called out. "Is someone there?" Avery looked down. The key was in her hand. The watcher was gone. The door began to glow. And from somewhere deep inside her, a voice, not her own, whispered, "Call him closer. Is the next victim?" Let us know in the comments section, would you have opened the door?
Ready for spine-chilling tales that will haunt your thoughts. Subscribe to Forgotten Storyteller for eerie narrations, unsettling mysteries, and haunting stories you won't forget. Hit the bell icon so you never miss a story, because some stories refuse to stay buried. Join us, if you dare,